Hey traders, Raghee here. In this update, we're going to take a look at a couple intraday setups from today as we are going into non-farm payroll. There are three things that we're going to deal with this summer and actually every year. And that's really right now where my focus is, which is to shorten the time frame because we're getting such conflicting data sometimes, volatile data, shifts in sentiment that seem to happen 2, if not 3 times per session. And the best way to handle that confusion on the longer term time frame, the daily, is to say, well, I can either go out to the weekly and focus on longer term positions or even my investments, or I can shorten to a 5-minute and I can start to look at opportunities inside a single session with windows of maybe 30 minutes to 120 minutes where we need a little bit of follow through and not longer term. So think about where you are on that scale. So I'm going to talk about the shorter end of that scale here. And again, time, volatility, and really the third part of this is going to be focusing on when we have certain times of day, what type of economic events could we see, and what type of movement do we see typical to that time of day. So just really easy. We know that the very beginning and very end of the session are extremely volatile and lunchtime has less volatility, but how do we measure it? And that's really what these couple of examples will really highlight. So first of all, this is resistance, this is support. And you can see that stair-stepping throughout the day as the S&P opened pretty weak. We had very bearish structure, right? So structure is a constant in our conversations, right? Whether we're talking about the daily time frame or whether we're talking about a 5-minute time frame, what does the structure of the market tell us is the most high probability direction to follow? Well, before the bell, it was down. Going into about 9:45, 10 o'clock, it was down. And then all of a sudden we get a clearing range breach that was bullish. Okay, so this changes things. Shortly after, the market goes neutral. Once we have a neutral market, now we know the bulls and the bears have a pretty even shot at controlling where we go next. In a down market, it's much more common to look for shorts. And first thing this morning, that's exactly what I was looking for. I was looking for shorts in the NASDAQ. I was looking for shorts in the S&P because that is the structure we had. We focus on the resistance. That's your time and volatility coming together. We take advantage of that. But we always have to keep assessing what's happening to the market structure. And when it's a 5-minute chart or a 2-minute chart, it switches pretty quick sometimes. And that was the switch. Right in here. Again, time and volatility base support. We spent 2 5-minute candles testing this area, and you can just see the market stair-stepping from there. And this just takes us to the lunchtime doldrums. This takes us to about 12:30. We did the same thing in crude. So different market. It doesn't have to be the indices. We look at the way in which the market was moving. What are we inheriting? Well, take a look here. This was pretty easy. Do I want to short crude here? Not even a little bit. That's exactly what we did not do. If you can eliminate one side of the trade and focus on the path of least resistance, you've already increased your likelihood of not over trading and focusing on the path that price is already taking and will likely continue to take, unless of course we see some sort of shift. All right, so that's crude, that's the S&P. And again, what are we focusing on? Market structure, using that JT multi or the trade flags. Also looking at time, looking at when we have different FOMC speakers, the clearing range. Tomorrow we have non-farm payroll. We'll have another shot to take advantage of this kind of strong sentiment with a hot zone and possibly follow through again. But when you can look and decode the market with time and volatility, you'll see exactly the zones that pop up. And mind you, not many people are looking at this, which gives you a tremendous edge. And that was our edge throughout today's session. One idea at a time. Hey, and it's one thing I want to mention, gang, as we're going through these ideas, I know we're going to elaborate a whole lot more on that later on this month. We are not that far off from the annual day trading class on June 25, so definitely mark your calendar. But more excitingly, we're going to be doing our webinar on June 16, 8 p.m. Eastern. So this is where we're going to dive a little bit more into structure and volatility and time and start putting more of these pieces together, more examples, and I'll show you the power in understanding these really kind of invisible levels unless you know what it means to marry the volume and the volatility and the time and the structure, and then put together a really full picture of the market. This is just an example of today. And by the way, I want to mention one thing because it just dawned on me. Let me show you the NASDAQ here. I missed a trade. I want to show you something. I was waiting for a short. Notice here, it didn't get there, but look what did happen. We had a couple opportunities to the long side. So I'm even showing you some things that as you get better and better at this, you're going to see opportunities in a lot of places. All right. So NASDAQ was a place where I kind of missed an opportunity on this retreat right in here. And so there was a lot more to be done. And that's what's so exciting. The more you can see this and the more that's automated, the more you're going to be able to take advantage of these ideas. All right. That is it for today's update. Thanks as always for the questions and the comments and the feedback. And thanks for smashing that like button. I'll see you in the next update. Hey traders, Raghee from Simpler Trading. Thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to leave a like and a comment below. And remember, subscribe and click the bell icon so you'll get notified of the next update. And when you're ready to join me for live trading, be sure to head on over to simplertrading.com. I'll see you in the next update.